All right, we're live.
Okay, welcome everybody. It's a beautiful day outside, so most people have chosen to be outside rather than here. But we will go ahead and start. My name is Jeff Galloway. I'm the chair, co-chair of this committee, Battery Park City Committee. Our chair, Justine Kucha, is off at her daughter's college graduation. And so she asked me to chair tonight's meeting. We have a handful of items on the agenda, and we'll just march down them. The first item is Community Center at Stuyvesant High School, temporary transfer of members to Asphalt Green. And we have from Asphalt Green with us online, Karen Borsari, Senior Director of External Engagement. Karen, take it away.
Hi, can everybody hear me okay before I get started?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks so much for having me. So as you mentioned, we wanted to talk about the influx of members coming to Asphalt Green from Stuyvesant High. That will be July 1st to September 2nd. I can share that as of now, we're just shy of 400 people who have signed up. And I also want to share at the same time, every summer we have our summer day camp, which brings 250 young campers onto campus, which results in crowding. And we do have to limit some group exercise classes. And I know that there was concern within the community about the impact on both groups taking away from what we normally offer. Particularly with the older adult population. So I wanted to share a few things we're doing to mitigate those issues. And then I'd also love to hear from the community what other measures we could take, or if you have suggestions, partners I can reach out to throughout the summer. So I guess to get started, we offer typically 70 weekly group exercise classes in Battery Park City. 34 of them will have to be canceled this summer because of camp. So our goal is to reallocate at least 20 of them. We'd love to get closer to full capacity, but 20 is kind of the minimum we've set for ourselves. 10 of those are older adult specific classes. So we are keeping that in mind. I've already started working with BPCA, and they've helped me locate alternate locations for 10 of the classes. So we're chipping away at that number already. I also have calls out to the Conrad, BMCC. They let us know they weren't able to help at this time. Brookfield Place reached out to contact the Downtown Alliance, a couple of the residential buildings, a few others that I'm waiting to hear back from, but it looks like we have some leads on alternate locations to provide additional programming. Question?
Yeah, sorry, just to interrupt. I just want to make sure I understand the numbers
Sure.
you were talking about. So normally, like during the rest of the year, you have 70 weekly group exercise classes.
Yep.
And you said 34 will need to be canceled. You want to reallocate 20 of them. Does that mean if you're successful in reallocating 20, does that mean that only 14 will be canceled, or?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
If I can get closer to that 34, I will, but that minimum benchmark that we're working toward is 20.
Okay.
And something.
I've heard from some of this senior association people as well about their concern because
Yep.
after all, their membership is only during that portion of the day anyway. And so during the summer camp, I guess there is kind of a natural
Exactly right.
schedule.
Yeah, so I'm hearing the exact same concern. So a couple of things. So you're referring to our daytime members. For the summer,
Yes.
we are going to extend them all access. So from open to close 7 days a week. So they won't be limited to those daytime hours. So they're welcome to join any evening or weekend programming. Hopefully that will help. And then of the 10 I've reallocated so far, 6 are those older adult classes specifically. So we're close to replacing a lot of them. And so
That's
10
good.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt, Bob. One question that I had in my mind is, have you been able to get any space from like the authority, like Six River Terrace or any of
Yes.
those spaces?
So the 10 classes that I've replaced are at Six River Terrace. We met earlier this week. We nailed down some times. I'm going to bring some staff over to do walkthroughs in the coming week. So that's been going really well. And they're also helping us source some other locations, but that's what we have secured as of now. And then on the older adult front, this is not a replacement for group exercise classes, but I know that the community piece and the engagement is also part of it. So Brookdale is the older adult living community diagonally across the street from Asphalt Green, and they've graciously extended to Asphalt Green members for the summer to join any of their programming, their cultural programming for free. I'm waiting to get a list of what that is specifically, but they gave me a preliminary view, and it's pretty impressive. They have art classes, including they bring in live models. They have dancers from Juilliard who talk about, you know, that dance experience. They have a classical music class, some really, really gorgeous cultural programming. And they also said that they are open to doing events specifically for our members if we want to do game nights or anything like that. And they said come back to them with my suggestions of what our community would like. So that's another thing I'd love to chat with some of the people here and maybe some others about what would be most enjoyed by that community. They were very open with us. I'm very excited about that opportunity. And I'd love to extend it beyond the summer if our members truly enjoy it. What else? The other thing is I know that pool space becomes a little more limited. I'm trying to source a couple other pools we can get members into. That's a little bit tougher. I have contacted one prep school that does have 2 pools in the area. I don't know if it's going to work out. I have a 3rd pool I'm trying to learn more about. I've been asking everyone if you have leads on any pools in the community you think we could gain time in. Please send those contacts my way.
Okay, are you done with your basic presentation? I'm sure we have questions. Any questions in the room here? I see Marianne on the line there.
Good to see you.
Questions, comments?
Karen, first I want to apologize because I just got home and tuned in. I was held up in the subway. So I missed much of what you said, but I did hear that 6 of the 10 senior specific classes you will be able to do at Six River Terrace. So that's fabulous.
Yep.
And these offerings with Brookfield are great. Maybe we could powwow a little as to how to interact with seniors to find out about like a game time or the socialization, which sounds like it could be a wonderful thing.
I would love that.
So,
Let's actually
yeah.
set that up.
Yeah.
And I didn't say this yet, but we are planning to do some sort of survey out to the community. Probably next week, could be the following week, where we'll kind of solicit what would you enjoy, what would be beneficial, what times work for you, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I welcome any of your questions prior to that. It might help us shape what we want to ask the broader community.
Right. Maybe we could touch base at some point that works for both of us, just because there are factors like those who use the free bus to get around.
Mhm.
You know, that doesn't start till 10:30 in the morning and it ends at a certain point at night. So people may not want to get stranded at the senior center and not be able to get home if they have an evening event and it gets too late. So those are kind of facts we could pull together so the results will be the best possible.
Yes, I'm glad you highlighted that to me.
Thanks. And then when will we know like what the schedule will be over at Six River?
Great question. We're still hammering it out.
Okay.
But
I think the one class I will just plead for will be the chair yoga, because that gets the older adults to come. and they feel safe. So we have a couple 90-year-olds who come to that class on a regular basis. So
Is that Friday?
that's the Friday. Friday at 11 is the chair
I
yoga.
think we might have it.
So, yeah.
I might be able to find it before we get off this call. I have the list of which ones we'll be able to keep, and I feel
Okay.
it.
You have my email.
I do. It is. We've got it. It's on the
Good,
schedule.
Okay. That's
So
gonna
that works
thrill
out.
people at Six River. That'll work just perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't say this earlier, but we're really focusing on getting those older adult daytime classes indoors because this
Right.
is the hottest part of the summer. We'll look at outdoor spaces for more of those evening classes, that sort of thing, but I'm really focused on finding indoor spaces for that group.
Thank you. I'm so excited to hear.
Good.
Great. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I don't see any other hands raised. Karen, I wanted to just jump back to the community center at Stuyvesant High School.
Yep.
Have you communicated, or has the authority communicated directly with all those members of the options that you have available for the sort of the free transfer of memberships during the construction over the summer? I mean, how are people being notified of that?
They sent out an email to their people. I think it was Thursday. I'd have to look back at what day it was. I think Thursday they sent out an email to their entire community, and we immediately saw people start filling out the form, so we know it reached many. And then we emailed our members immediately upon that message going out. So both communities are aware at this point. Are you feeling like some people aren't aware?
No, I haven't heard one way or the other, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that the members of the Stuyvesant Community Center are aware. Nick, you wanted to say something on that?
Yes, Jeff, good evening. It's okay. Sure. And hey, Karen, how are you?
Hi, good.
Yes, we had coordinated with our partners there at Asphalt Green. Every member of the community center got a direct email when we had kind of first pushed it out. Then it's also up on our the blog on our site. We've been pushing that out. I think we pushed out to some of the local press as well. I believe the broadsheet may have covered it. I know that Tribeca Citizen did. And it's actually the top item of my report when we get there later this evening. But for sure, if you are a current member of the community center, we want to make sure that you are aware of the opportunity to get the free membership at Asphalt Green for the duration of the summer while the community center itself is closed. And while I have the opportunity, I just really want to thank Karen and the team for just a magnificent and very generous gesture. Oftentimes, as you all know, kind of who work with government as a government agency and with other government agencies, sometimes it's the way it goes. Like the school has to close for the summer to replace the HVAC system, and that's the time to do it because that's when school is not in session. And under normal circumstances, it would just be one of those things. The school has to close. I really, really want to commend obviously not just the work of Craig Hudon and our programming team, but also Karen and the entire team at Asphalt Green for just being wonderful community partners and really stepping up and saying, hey, we have an opportunity, so a lot of your members don't have to miss out on the opportunity to continue staying fit, staying healthy, and continuing toward the fitness goals over the course of the summer. So really just a wonderful example of a true community partnership. And I can't say enough nice things. Thank you, Karen and the team. And the community board for the support and helping get the word out as well.
Yeah, Nick and Karen, I thank both of you as well. I think it's really wonderful that the two organizations together have been able to allow these members of the community center to continue to have activity over the course of the summer when the necessary work is being done over the schools. Neither of you had to do that, but you did do that. I think it's great. Any more questions? Yes.
Oh. Can I ask a question not about the community center?
What is it about?
The dog runs?
Oh, not yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
We'll get to the next report.
Okay.
Thank you, Karen. I think that's the end of your item here. If you need anything else from the community board in connection with this, please let us know. And if we hear issues or ideas to help you out in this process, we'll certainly let you know as well.
Absolutely, please do. And Marianne, I'll reach out. We can find a time that works for both of us. Great.
Great.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
All right, item 2 on the agenda, South Battery Park City construction. Katie McDougal.
Yes, hi. I think I'm looking in the right cameras. Hi, I'm Katie McDougal. I'm the Community Construction Liaison for the South Battery Park City Resiliency Project. Kind of, as I'm sure everybody is now aware, we've had some night work as we're relocating essential utilities, gas and electric. So we've partnered with Con Edison to make sure that those get relocated in an efficient manner. I know that that's never fun to have night work going on, and I really appreciate all of the feedback I've heard from community members. You know, we've been in contact with the DOT to kind of brainstorm ways to make this a little bit less annoying for the local residents, because we do understand that it's very inconvenient, and that this is unfortunately the way that it works. It's necessary work that has to be done at night so that we don't disturb the bus routes and the freight coming in. But at the same time, we understand it's inconvenient for the residents, so we're always happy to hear feedback from people. We're working now, it should be much quieter, at least from our side, because we're working on backfilling. So you shouldn't hear a lot of jackhammering from us. Unfortunately, the South Battery Park City Resiliency Project is one of many ongoing projects in Battery Park City. I know DEP is also doing some work. We have the EDC has another project further down in Battery Park, and then we have the Northwest Battery Park City Resiliency Project that'll be starting up later on this year. So there's a lot of interlocking pieces that are involved in that are doing work in this neighborhood. But if you have questions about the South Battery Park City Resiliency Project, our hotline is going to be 917-624-5409. Again, that's 917-624-5409. And you can text or call that number, and I'll be happy to get you an answer.
I'm gonna ask you to say that number again slowly, please.
All right, so the number is going to be 917 624 5409.
And this is the resiliency construction hotline?
This is for the South Battery Park City Resiliency Project.
Okay.
And we also send out a bi-weekly construction newsletter that goes out every other Friday. So it'll be, next one will be coming out on May 10th. So again, text your email to that number I just provided, and I can add you to the construction notice so that you know that you're up to date with everything that's going on.
Okay.
Any questions?
Can you tell me the exact location of this construction? There's so many different constructions going on.
Yes, well, it's Wagner Park between Museum of Jewish History and First Place along.
That whole where it's closed
Place.
down.
Yes,
We're talking
Battery Place, and then, but then right adjacent to us, also further down Battery Park, is the EDC project. So we're kind of like half the dividing line.
Okay, I just want to make sure I have the right project amongst all the projects. Thank you.
But don't worry, if you have questions and it's not us, I'm happy to direct you to the correct project team. We've gotten very good at figuring out who's responsible for what.
Name again?
It's Katie McDougal.
Thank you.
City ends online, is that, Marianne, go ahead.
Katie, the number you gave, is that like staffed answered all the time or business hours?
Yes, it's,
17 number?
I'm the one who monitors it, and a couple of my colleagues also take a look at it, but
Okay,
basically you'll get an answer from me. It's attached to my phone, so I can see when texts come in, when phone calls come in, and get those answered as quickly as possible. Yes.
okay. So if
I'm
there's,
the live person.
if there's a problem at night, the phone will be answered.
I'll try to answer it. Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
it's, I've got some calls at like 2 a.m. and I follow up as soon as I see them, and I'm able to get those answered.
You like bed watching your favorite series and people calling.
So that, it might, but it'll be answered as quickly as possible the next day if need be. I have called
Keep
people.
that, I'll keep that in mind. Okay, thank you.
Tell me again who you work for. I'm sorry, what organization are you with?
I'm a community construction liaison with Melissa Johnson Associates, but I'm I'm working with the construction company Nero for this, for this ongoing project.
I have a question, but it's probably related to the north, and I see Nick is online. I'm noticing that there are a number of places on the Esplanade and near North Cove that are being roped off in construction-looking barricades. And I guess I'm assuming that's part of the resiliency project for some engineering testing or something. Do you know about those? Or Nick, do you know about those?
Yes, I can take those. Jeff, sorry, I'm trying to, oh, there it is. Yeah, there's actually, well, there's something out on our blog as well, but it's okay. We push a lot of stuff out there. Long and the short of it is, yes, the work that's going on has been going on for a while in different portions along the breadth of what will be the Northwest Battery Park City Resiliency Project site. But essentially, it is, it's called geotechnical work. You have to kind of do subsurface borings to make sure that you are testing and analyzing the subsurface conditions so that when the project is complete with its design and begins to be built, the subsurface conditions are understood. So what you will see is there's a picture on our website actually of one of them in one North Cove Marine. There's an enclosure and you'll have some, you have a rig that's done. We try and do it in a way that is obviously not too terribly noisy, but it basically it's pulling up soil samples and then testing them off site to make sure that the conditions are understood so that when the project is designed, the appropriate measures going to be taken from an engineering and load bearing perspective. So it's just part of the process of doing kind of some surface analyses while the design is happening.
I noticed that, yes, actually today, another one, a couple of these areas went up, one on the ramp at Liberty Street and another on Kowski Plaza. Are those part of this, or is that something else that's going on there?
Those should be the ones that have the enclosure should be us. There is, as you know, also some Port Authority work going on at Kowski Plaza. Yes. There may be something that's attendant to that, but for the most part, when you see the enclosures, they are ours for the subsurface work. And then, to the extent that they are, when they're complete, we close it back up and move on to the next. But there is a, I don't know if you want to bring up our site, Zach, but I can show it to you, or I can email it to the committee tomorrow, Jeff, or this evening. Let me see if I can send it to you. But yeah, it's basically an enclosure, and it's related to kind of the preliminary analysis that has to be done for the Northwest project.
Okay. And for any given one of these, how long can we expect them to be up? Are we talking about a week, a month?
I think it is, for the most part, a few weeks. I don't think in many cases it's as long as a month. They try to fix it, open it up, get the information, get the sample they need, and then close it back up. But there's a particular case you have in mind. Let me know, and I can get you a sense of when it will be done. These had started way back when up along the North Esplanade. I want to say maybe the summer of 22, perhaps, when we started doing preliminary work. So, in as much as the project is, more than a mile in length, we're going to have to be doing this along the course of the project site, including in some areas, in Tribeca and whatnot as well. So it's one of those things we try and communicate it clearly and do it with as little impact as possible.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Any other questions on resiliency? Okay, the next subject is a very happy one that Rosalie Joseph, who's here with us today, will describe, and Nick may chime in as well. So Rosalie, take it away.
Nick, do you want to start with anything?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was thinking I would go later, but now I'm like going at the beginning.
You start.
Let me just say a word about Rosalie Joseph that she already knows, and so does everyone in the committee. She is just a joy to be around, a long time, obviously, community member and a leader. And I've had the pleasure of. Hold on a second.
And those chocolates.
Okay, hold on one second, sweetie. I'm gonna turn my camera off while I do some some candy getting here, but stand by. But Rosalie and I have gone back for as long as I've been at the authority. And I remember my very first year or so, we were working on, I think, the former iteration of the Battery Park City Block Party. A couple of months ago or so, Rosalie reached out saying, hey, I'm kind of getting the itch again. I think maybe we should try and reconstitute it. And we had a couple of really nice conversations about it. And as is often the case with great ideas, sometimes they evolve independently in separate places. So as it turns out, Craig from our programming team was also thinking about building off of some of the community work that he does generally in the spring and summer, when we usually have like a school out for summer type community day. And we were thinking maybe it's time to do some type of block party themed event as well. So as a happy coincidence, we put our heads together. We're able to decide on a date. And what we really wanted to do now, Rosalie is obviously a lot of the heart and inspiration behind this, but in true keeping as the type of leader she is, she says, look, it's great, but I also want to make sure that we have community voices reflected, and this is really kind of a community-driven event. So Battery Park City Authority is working on planning it. We'll be working in close consultation with Rosalie, but we also wanted to make sure that we had some really nice voices from across the community who can tell us about the things that we'd like to see. We want to make sure that it's scoped appropriately, but that it is something that really reflects, the different generations in Battery Park City and how they're changing, but still reflective of what a wonderful community it is. So, Rosalie, I hope that does it justice, and I'll hand it to you.
Well, yeah, I don't know how many of you were even remember the block party. I assume most of you do. Why we did it, was to bring the community together after a very difficult year, to celebrate our resiliency, our strength, our rebirth, and it was very special. And at that time, we coined the slogan, Battery Park City, the best small town in the Big Apple. So years later, my co-chair for 15 years was Anthony Notaro. And after 15 years, Anthony and I said, you know what, I think it's time for the next generation to take over. That didn't happen. So here we are in 2024, and the community has changed so much. And we feel strongly that it's time to celebrate again how wonderful our community is, to celebrate the fact that we are the best small town in the Big Apple, and to let this new community with so many new people sort of identify itself and feel that oneness that we had so many years ago, which was so special. So we thought, yes, this is time to just bring everybody together again and celebrate on the streets again, wherever it might be. So with that in mind, we want to get a good steering committee together so that we have representatives of all the different, obviously all our partners like Asphalt Green, like Manhattan Youth. But the thing that's unique about the block party is that it's all Battery Park City. It's Battery Park City restaurants, businesses, whatever talent will be on stage. Hopefully we'll be Battery Park City residents. It's going to be all about our community and to celebrate how great we are. So, but we need a steering committee because I don't want it to be just a reworking of what we did. Who is this community? Who are we now? And for it to reflect how the community has grown. So that's why we need a steering committee of people from north, south, intergenerational. I'd love to get some kids involved in the planning of it. But the first meeting will be, Thursday, May 23rd, at the community room. What's the address, Nick? What is it? Wait. 200 Rector. Thank you. 200 Rector. Yeah. 200 Rector. And if you are interested in being on the committee, if anybody's interested, Please write to me, email to me. What is it? Wait, hang on. I think it's info@BPC Block Party 2024. No, wait, that's not right. I'm sorry. BPC Block Party 2024@gmail.com. That's what it is. And email me and say I want to be on the steering committee, and then we'll go and you'll hear about it throughout the summer. If you are a vendor, if you're a business owner, write to us and we'll get you a table. I think anybody.
I think the date is.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is a big one. The date is September 14, rain date September 15. Please pray for no rain. I will be worrying about rain from now until September 14th, trust me. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, I recognized at least one additional person in the room who's been to lots of these block parties.
Yes.
And for any of you, either here or online, who've ever been to one, these are not like the block parties that you see, the street fairs that you see throughout that are put on by vendors and raise money for various organizations. This is truly an indigenous block party, and it's a wonderful event. And as Rosalie says, we need all the help we can get. And if you care about what should be in there, you can join the steering committee.
You're creative, you have ideas, please join, let's make it the best.
You know,
Will Ten House be judging the apple pie?
Well, I'm going to approach them. I mean, once the committee's together, if the committee wants a baking contest.
Well, Ten House was the key.
Oh, I know, Ten House was, yes. And they're all different now, but still like apple pie. So, I certainly will approach them. Yes.
and any questions? Room, fine. Anybody have a hand? See? No. So no hands. I don't think.
Oh, for those who don't know, Ten House or the
Firehouse.
the Firehouse.
So thank you, Rosalie.
Thank you for inviting me.
Can I second what Nick said about Rosalie?
You can.
I
I
second.
agree too.
Thank you, guys. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, Rosalie. Okay, Nick, you are up. Oh, no, Patrick is. You're up. Didn't read the agenda. It's very early.
Okay, go ahead, Pat.
So let's see, do we need his report?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. It's at the end of the thing there, Zach. I appreciate it. The bottom of the last page. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, as you can see, the report that's up, graffiti compared to last year, we only had 3 reports, and it was on one of the wayfinding signs. Homeless, there was an increase in homeless with the safety ambassadors reaching out to them. So we had 22 contacts with homeless this month compared to last year, 10. Lost and found, with the good weather, kids love leaving scooters behind, so. Park rules, we're at 9 last month. Last year, we had 10. Vendors, I guess the ice cream truck isn't out yet, so we're at 0 there. Dogs, okay, so we had 17 reports this month, while last year we had 8. Just to talk a little bit about things. The total reports, including geotags for this month, was 23,279. Dealing with the homeless, there's a jump in the number of the homeless and safety ambassadors' interaction with them on the property. Okay, the dogs, dealing with the dogs, so far this April, we issued 3 summonses for issues for dogs off leash. Dealing with the park rules, we're still dealing with teenagers that are going into the ball field after the ball field's closed at night. Under complaints, we were dealing with a child who was throwing toys out the window down to the ball field down at Liberty Lux building. So we ended up talking to the doorman who knew which child it was and that stuff, and reached out to the parents, and the toys were collected, and that behavior stopped. I attended the First Precinct Community Council meeting. The big topics there, of course, are the scams. Also, he brought up there's going to be there's a change in the law with the state dealing with the marijuana shops. So he's going to be reaching out to the legal department and the police department to find out what he can and can't do. Okay, on the illegal shops. Most of the burglaries that are occurring in the First Precinct are dealing with packages that are being delivered and left in the lobby. Obviously, this is buildings with no doormen. So anybody walking along on the street, they can see the package there, and it's easy to enter building lobby. Easier than entering your apartment building, obviously. I was with Downtown Alliance and the Department of Homeless Services, and informed them about the homeless situation at the Tribeca Bridge and also in Battery Park. And that's it.
Now, so you have both dogs and homeless are kind of a jump from last year. Is it taking homeless first? Is that attributable, do you think, to more homeless or just more outreach on your part of combination?
It's a combination. We're doing a lot of outreach right now, and asking and talking with Department of Homeless Services. They tell me that it's at least 21 points of contact with the same individual before they actually decide to take any service. All right. The important thing for me to know on the meetings is that in the wintertime, they had a bus down at Staten Island Ferry entrance area, a warming bus. So they're going to keep that bus down there, and that's going to be a cooling bus. Also, there was an encampment down there, down by the Staten Island Ferry, and they got rid of the encampment. So that also added to the homeless coming up our way. So once they get rid of the encampment, they have to move someplace, right? So they move the closest they can. Obviously, we're easy. We have park benches, and people can set up on it, and it's a safe park. Now with the summertime and the better weather coming, basically we tell them you can't lay out on the whole bench, and we tell that to everybody. So you have to sit up or spread a blanket on the lawn and enjoy the sun like everybody else. We're dealing more with more homeless at night, telling them, okay, the park is closed at 1 o'clock in the morning, because that's when the park is closed. And they get up and they move along. We did have one woman that she was set up over by the Jewish Heritage Museum in back there. Where she was pretty vocal. And like I said, I'm not a fan of Thursdays because of trash day. So she had grabbed a mattress that somebody had put out and was going to sleep on the mattress. So.
Jill, you had a question?
Yeah, the increase in dog reports.
Mhm.
Can you tell me how many people are making them? Has that number increased? So in other words, if you've got 17 reports, are 5 of them from one person?
Not really. I mean, my staff level is still the staff level. It'll be really at the end of this month.
I mean, the
I'll be
complaints,
increasing.
have they come from
Well, no, it's the safety ambassadors that put it out. I am dealing with, the one resident who, had shot an email to Ryan Torres from Parks about situation in a certain area with a dog. And, I reached out to her, and now she texts me and she sees the dog off the leash in that area. And, we're working on catching that individual to give him the summons.
Okay, so the 17 complaints weren't someone calling in making the.
Oh, no, the 17
Reports from the.
There were 17 reports.
right,
Understood, thank you.
okay.
Yes. Do we have any questions online? Questions on? Well, thank you, Patrick. So Nick, now you are up.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. You know, you better watch out. You're going to be in a job or out of one if you keep running meetings as quickly and efficiently there, Jeff Galloway.
I conspired to have a short.
That's right. It is a beautiful night out there. So nonetheless, and Zach, thank you as well. Appreciate you stepping in tonight and driving this for me. So very briefly, I'll just kind of run through this report. There's a lot in there, obviously. Some of my formatting, unfortunately, got a little messed up, but this will be posted tomorrow. Very prim and proper. But for the time being, you'll see the top item there, in addition to those beautiful flowers in Battery Park City, is as a reminder, again, the free Asphalt Green membership for community center members. So if you're a member of the community center and you haven't yet, please go ahead and click. You can take advantage of that free Asphalt Green membership for July through September, while the high school itself is closed for HVAC repair and reconstruction. Moving to the next page there, Zach, thank you. You all have seen this because I believe you're all on my distribution list. It's on our site and elsewhere, but our summer events calendar is now out. There is no place like Battery Park City in the summer. And we have a range of events from May through August, all throughout Battery Park City, concerts, events, programs, live action type sessions, etc., including the kickoff tonight of our summer calendar with Illumination NYC. For those of you who are not aware, it is a magnificent light illumination show. This year it is taking place in both places, both at the Oculus and with our partners at the World Trade Center and at Belvedere Plaza. So it starts this evening. It runs May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And for those of you who are Star Wars fans out there, Saturday night, which is May the 4th, there will be a special Star Wars themed portion of that event as well. So if you go to the next page there, Zach, you will see some of the highlights over the course of the next month, starting with the Illumination Light Art Festival tonight, continuing through with I Love My Park Day, Strings on Hudson, Go Fish, and some of our other community favorites. That is pages 3 and 4. So you can jump right ahead there to, you guys can read that at your leisure. Page 5, you'll see there in the middle, there's just another plug there, as Rosalie had quite eloquently and beautifully stated, the Battery Park City Block Party 2024. That's the middle of page 5. For those of you who are interested in participating and trying to get some thoughts together on the planning for that event, please email Rosalie. That email address again is repeated there, bpcblockparty24@gmail.com. And you may have noted the broadsheet wrote a very nice piece about it, I think toward the end of last week as well, exhorting folks to take part in the planning if they'd like to do it. Really should be a really nice community-driven, community-themed event, and we're looking forward to reviving this community favorite. Following that, as you all had noted, and I will thank the community board again for their feedback and collaboration on this, the Wagner Park Pavilion Food and Beverage License RFP has been let. So it is out on the streets now with responses due May 17th. As a reminder, we are seeking proposals from experienced food and beverage owners to operate a successful and cost-effective food service portion of the new Wagner Park Pavilion for when Wagner Park reopens at the latter end of next year, 2025. So by time I am next back before you again in June, we should have an update on kind of the number and responses we've gotten there. and certainly happy to keep you posted on what we get. But we are excited about it and hopefully receiving some very exciting proposals to review. Next step, Zach, if you don't mind going to page 6 there. Katie McDougall, I think, who is still in the room. Thank you, Katie, for being there. She gave the update on the South project. That travel advisory is just obviously for awareness still in place, as Katie had noted. Thankfully, I think a lot of the noisy work for the utility relocation is behind us now, but that is still linked there. And Katie's information very graciously is linked there as it is included in all our reports. Her name, her phone number, and the email address that you can use to contact us. Those emails go to Katie, they go to me, and the phone number rings to Katie and her team of folks who can help address these concerns in as close to real time as we can when they come in.
Egg.
Hold on one second, sweetie. I'll get you a chocolate egg in a second.
What is it?
All right, hold on one second. Hold on. Okay. Next item is, I'm just going to shut my camera off. The North Project at the top of page 7 there, Zach. And thank you again. I know we've been over the past few months to the community board on each of the reaches of the Northwest Project. We were to the BPC committee in January. Jeff and Justine, thank you for that, for reaches 6 and 7. And we were at the EPC committee both in March and in April for reaches 2, 3, and 4, and then 1 and 5, respectively. All those presentations and the videos are linked here in the report, and also, of course, on our dedicated webpage for the Northwest Project. The thing I'd like to draw your attention to is our next large public meeting. This is the follow-up from the one we did last November. Obviously, we've been to the community board a number of times in the interim, but our next large meeting will be Thursday, June 20th. When I sat here last month, I noted the date was June 10th, and that was tentative because it may shift. It's now going to be June 20th, but I can confirm that date for you at Stuyvesant High School with more detail to come. Zach, when I have the appropriate artwork and Eventbrite link and others, I will share that with the community board as well. If you all can help spread the word about that, we would be most appreciative. So more to come on the North. But I know that we've had some really productive conversations here at the community board level over these past few months. Look forward to incorporating that feedback to the extent that we can, and then being back with the community in a larger setting, both in June 20th, and then at a date TBD in July, likely the latter part of July, for the next phase of the EIS process. With that, Zach, if you can go ahead to page 8, we're getting toward the end here. I note this every month, but again, just in case, First Precinct always asks us to make sure we're letting folks know about the community scam alert. So again, don't hand anyone your phone. Make sure you're working through any reputable charitable organizations if you'd like to make donations, but do not hand anyone your phone. That scam alert is in our report, and it's kind of a mainstay these days. And I will note, obviously, that the lawns are now open for the summer as of last month. So as we always say, please keep your pets off the lawns. This ties back to what Pat had said about dogs on lawns generally, and then, you know, off leash as well. They can't be off leash anywhere except in the dog runs, and they can't be on the lawns even if they're on a leash. So let's make sure that we are respecting our shared space so it can be used and enjoyed by all. With that, at page 9, that's just a reminder there about not feeding the wildlife. In addition to not having dogs in the lawns, don't feed the wildlife. We just want to make sure that we're reminding folks of that. And then there, page 10 and 11, we just have some updates about some of the events we had over the course of the last month for Earth Day, including Steam Dream and Meet the Beekeeper, and our solar eclipse viewing party there at the top of page 10, which, for those of you who joined us, was really quite an event in Rockefeller Park. So thanks to all who participated. We had hundreds of folks there for really what was maybe not once in a lifetime, but once in a couple of decade event. And we really glad we had the opportunity to join with so many folks in the community. With that, those are the main items. I will just draw your attention as a final item at the bottom of page 12. We usually list our kind of big events or walkathons, runs that are happening throughout the neighborhood there, Zach, at the bottom of page 12 in blue. I'll just draw your attention to Brookfield each year activates their kind of port side services where it's open to the public. There's waterfront seating, happy hours, etc. over the course of the summer and early fall. The American Heart Association, I believe, had gone to the Transportation Committee, but just as a heads up, that's coming up on the 16th. It ends in Battery Park City. It doesn't run entirely through Battery Park City, but they'll be ending there on the Lower Plaza. And the American Lung Association is coming up on the 18th. For the most part, these are pass-throughs through Battery Park City, with the majority of the event happening outside of the neighborhood. So with that, I will open it up to questions, but thank you again as always. Sorry I couldn't be there in person this month, but I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Nick, thank you. A question about the RFP on the pavilion.
Yes.
So the responses are due on the 17th. What's the process after that? And of course, we'll want to weigh in on how the responses are evaluating.
Yep.
Obviously, there's confidentiality on some of the details of the responses, but when do you have to decide, and what kinds of next steps do you do? And will you be in a position to summarize responses for us to discuss them at our next meeting, or is it more realistic plan to discuss them in the July meeting?
You know, it's a good question. I would imagine, and again, I don't want to speak at a school because it was just let, and we haven't obviously that's not due yet. But I think the timing is right, certainly to be able to be back to you, if not on what it is, I guess June 6th, then in the July meeting, to discuss it. I mean, obviously, what we want to do is make sure that we have enough time to get the restaurant, the vendor in there and in the pavilion for the time when the park opens back up, which is, we're looking at next spring, let's say a year from now, which may sound like a lot of time. It's not a ton of time, but certainly when we're next back to you, I think it's June 6th, the first Thursday or so. Responses will be due on May 17th. So at the very least, we can come back with an update on where we are, kind of number of responses received, what have you, and then at that point, maybe a little firmer timeline about what to expect next. But generally speaking, we'll get the responses. We will have a committee review them, rank them based on the particular criteria. Obviously, there's MWBE considerations as well. There are sustainability considerations, which are laid out in the RFP, which is linked there. But yeah, by the time I'm next back to you, we should be able to lay out maybe a firmer timeline, and hopefully, knock on wood, pending the responses, give you a sense of kind of the number of responses we've received.
All right, obviously, this will be a subject of continuing dialogue. We look forward to having many responses to the RFP.
Let's hope.
Lots of choices to choose from. Other questions for Nick? Jeff?
Hi, Nick. Can we talk dog parks? First, let's just talk playground. You put up good signage on the Gateway Plaza playground and dog park. However, I can't tell you every time I'm in the dog park how many people I see pushing these heavy double strollers with 2 kids in them up to the dog park, but they can't get in anyway. Can you consider maybe putting some kind of a ramp on the steps from the Esplanade up into the gateway of I don't know what you call that, the terrace where the playground is, just so that these parents or caretakers, it's impossible. It's a very difficult situation for them. Now let's talk dog parks. You have perhaps the most beautiful location of any dog park in this country. You look out over the Hudson River, you look out over the marina, it's gorgeous. It is in such poor shape. The ground, and I've mentioned this before. People are tripping on it, it's cracked, it's cuts up dog paws. I know people come and clean it, but it's still not in great condition. Surfaces, I mean, I feel like Battery Park City is the last area, dog parks don't have some kind of softer surface, be it dirt or grass or something. The people I know who used to go there have stopped going there. It's getting worse and worse. Water, there's no water until, I don't know when, maybe it's Memorial Day, the water's turned on, but dogs need water. It's really horrendous considering the number of dogs. I mean, my husband used to call it Battery Dog City, and there's only more dogs there now. I agree people shouldn't be walking their dogs off leash, but you know, people who don't want to go to the dirty, beat up dog park are walking their dogs wherever they can. I think if there were better facilities in these dog parks, you wouldn't have so much of a problem. They're not designed particularly well. There's gates that are rusty and impossible to lock. The gate surrounding the dog park is so low that dogs' balls always go over it into the garden. Then you have to go down into that little garden area and try to retrieve your dog, and you don't want to step through the flowers or send your dog in to get his ball. It's really not working. And I think considering all the effort you put into other areas to beautify Battery Park City and do an extraordinary job, it's really time to address this.
Okay, you're talking about the Serious Dog Run.
I'm talking about Sirius, but I think you also go to the one in the north, and it's also the one in the south. It's not
Yeah.
limited to those, but people are not going to them anymore.
It's like
At
the
least-
it's like the Yogi Berra line. It's too, no one goes there anymore. It's too crowded. Is that what we're saying?
No, it wasn't because it was too crowded, it was because it was too decrepit.
Right. I mean, it's the first time hearing that it's decrepit. But I will certainly.
Decrepit might be too strong a term.
I think so. Come on, decrepit. I mean, okay.
I take decrepit back and just say run down.
I think that Go ahead, Jeff.
I mean, I use that dog run fairly frequently. The gates are a problem.
Okay.
In the sense that they, at least one of them does not close properly, and both of them are difficult
Yeah.
to close.
Okay.
That definitely needs to be looked at. It does need to be resurfaced in
Yeah.
some way. And the fence height is a balance. I mean, it's kind of nice to have the views not blocked by a higher fence. And the way I throw a ball, it's going to go over any fence, no matter what. But the dirt and the grass surface is a difficult issue. My dog loves to run on grass, but I understand, and I've seen in many dog runs that are of that size, that have any grass, it doesn't stay grass at all.
Right.
So I wish there were other grass areas available, and Historic Battery Park does have some off leash there on the grass. Although with it being under construction, it is not as welcoming and accessible as it has been in the past.
Right.
But
Okay.
I think, I mean, I wouldn't call them decrepit, but they need some maintenance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
water-
Here's what I can say for sure. The note about the gate, certainly. I mean, that's very helpful. It's very specific. I can get that to Ryan tomorrow.
They are-
See what they can do. Yeah, I mean, they got to be able to stay closed, and they got to be able to be easily opened. I mean, that's
Yeah,
basic stuff.
The serious one.
May I just add to the gates?
Yeah.
before you continue? Just.
Yeah.
Because the gates are, even though they don't go high enough, they also don't go low enough. So it seems like you guys would put chicken wire around the bottom of it, which dogs can push through. And
Okay.
chicken wire really isn't a solution. So there's kind of bent chicken wire all over the bottom of the park.
Okay. I will take the gates. I will take the gates issue back. That seems, I don't want to say easy enough, but that's certainly something that we can look at and get addressed. The surfacing, right? I mean, as you know, there are a lot of dogs in Battery Park City, especially more during the course of the pandemic. There are a lot of pandemic pups, which are, I guess, they're now not pups anymore. We have done, I think it was either the beginning of last year or the start of last year, we did, resurfacing of the West Thames. I know I did a couple of posts about it when we actually resurfaced, not resurfaced, but I painted it over to make it smoother on the pup's paws. I will ask Parks Operations to take another look at that. Maybe you can stand to do that both at West Thames and Kowski, but we can certainly take a pass at the dog runs.
Yeah, and the serious one.
Yeah, serious. And obviously when we're doing that, we'll do the north. We'll take a look at the north end as well, and take a look. But I can be back next month, kind of with an update of what we've done and what we might be able to do going forward.
If we were to do.
Thank you, sweetie.
Resolution, because of the number of dogs, because of the small size and the surface of the park, requesting a better grass or other surface dog park. I mean, is that anything that Battery Park City Authority would consider? You do, as you've said, since the pandemic, the incredibly large number of dogs has increased. And I think people take their dogs off leash, not me, I never do that, but other people, because there's no sort of soft area for their dogs to play on. I think that the area desperately needs something like that.
I agree, dogs need to run on grass and dirt. I'm not sure where that would be.
That's there's plenty of space. But
you know what? I am curious enough to understand. Jeff, you might know this, or Jill, I guess, for that matter. Are there dog run? I'm not up on dog run technology and the latest advances in it. I don't say that to be flip. Are there new dog run type surfaces that are softer to the touch, that are not natural grass, but are like kind of like a spongy type of, like a playground type material that somehow doesn't soak up dog waste at the same time, but while also being soft? I don't know.
I found an old stick.
Okay, after you play trumpet.
Yes.
I would suggest taking a look at the dog run in Union Square, in Madison Square.
Okay.
Or, and just see the creativity that has gone into them.
I can also do a little bit of research on it with my dog association hat on. I know we've looked into this in the past, and it's not a happy subject, in the sense that every surface has a trade-off associated with it. I don't know, it's been a few years since I last looked at it, and I can see if there's any updates. The trade-off that's been made in Battery Park City has been for ease of cleaning, ease of maintenance, and so forth. Many dog runs have kind of a pebble area, which are incredibly difficult to clean and often become stinky pretty quickly. But there may be something in between.
Jeff, let's stay in touch on that as well. I mean, look, we're always, Ryan was just here a couple of months ago. She's great. She's always open to suggestions. So let's talk about it and see. Jill, to answer your larger question, I mean, a full resurfacing or kind of refurbishing is probably a larger capital type project. That might be a little bit longer out, but if there are kind of intermediary improvements that we can make, certainly we'd like to take a look at them. So let's stay in touch on this and see.
Please have them take a look at how bad right now the surface is. It's peeled off, it's cracked, there's big cracks. I tripped and fell, and it's not really safe. And
it's a great flag. It may already be in the queue to do, but I will flag it for Ryan nonetheless. And I can, when I'm back to you next month, let you know where we are.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Jill's point about the space underneath the gates and so forth, that was sort of a design flaw at the beginning. And to the extent that the fencing is going to be replaced in its entirety, that weight needs to be taken into account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, right.
Uh,
If you're gonna do it anyway, might as well kind of take the opportunity to remedy that. Okay,
Yeah. Other
Okay.
questions? Dogs or otherwise? All right, well, I'm gonna have to brag to Justine how quickly I can run a meeting.
oh boy.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. Thanks, Ned and Pat and Battery Park City Authority for coming and presenting. And thank you too.
Yes, thanks everyone. Thanks, House.
And we'll see you all next month.
Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks again.
Oh, done.
Bye.
Oh, God.